attached to Krillin probably more than the others because it was the very first voice acting part I ever got, and it lasted so long, you know, that he and I sort of grew up together in the part, you know, and I learned how to be a voice actor through him. So that part is very near and dear to me.
Yeah, that was probably Al for me because it's not the first part that I got, but it's the first part that spanned more than 2 episodes that I got.
Yeah, that's the thing, is generally we don't have time to get to know these characters very well, you know. I mean, sometimes just a few weeks, if that, even on a major part. But when you get a role that, like in Full Metal Alchemist or Dragon Ball Z, that lasts a couple of years, you get locked into those characters, you know.
Yeah.
And eventually you don't know where you end and where they begin. Like Krillin laughs like this. And sometimes when I'm naturally laughing, I'll get into that range and I go, did I always do that? Or did Krillin make me do that?
Yeah, on a lot of, at least the Funimation DVDs, they're starting to put commentaries with some of the episodes. And I've noticed that some of the commentaries like really informative and awesome, and some of the other ones are awesome, but they're just ridiculously goofy and have almost nothing to do with the show. What are the mechanics?
Drugs. Sometimes they're there and sometimes they're not, you know. And it depends on how well Funimation's doing that week before they'll provide ecstasy for the actors before they go in and do it. You can tell, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Mechanics are what?
Like, do they set that up? I mean, sometimes it seems like you have topics that you have to talk about. Sometimes it seems like you, I guess, voice actors are just watching the episode and be like, oh, that's interesting. And they're like, oh, there's, Jason Liebrecht. I didn't know he was in this.
Well, yeah, I think that's totally dependent on who's in the, who's in the booth recording that commentary.
And what mood they're in that day.
Yeah.
I've had sessions with directors and the same director, and one day be very serious, you know, and then another time it'd just be completely goofy and silly. So it's just whatever mood you're in. Because we don't have a script for it, we just wing it. You know, so. Yeah.
Eric, you're what, like a junior in?
Yes, junior.
So how hard is it for you to balance your voice acting in school? Because I know I'm a senior and I'm like,
oh, well, when you have a part, it's very, not that difficult, ever, actually. Mainly I do voice acting. Alright, so the thing about it is with me is it's not a question of how much time I actually have, it's how many motivation points I still have, right? So my motivation points they go up whenever I play games or am hanging out with friends or something, and then they go down when I'm doing homework or yard work or chores. And so Funimation actually raises my motivation points. So therefore it actually helps me to care about my homework whenever I get home. So I guess you could say it has a positive effect.
It's a very wise statement. Motivation points, I like that. Cues.
Yes. Cues. Do you have a favorite line that you've of any character you've ever played?
Well, for Krillin, it was Mondo cool because it was just so lame. I'm old enough to remember when people said Mondo, and it didn't last but a couple of weeks, and it wasn't cool then. And then 10 years later, it's in the script. I went, really? Chris goes, what? He goes, I said, read that next line. He goes, Mondo cool. I said, let's do it. He said, okay, so we did it. Mondo cool.
I might try bringing that back now.
Yeah, let's all start saying that from now on. Hey, that's Mondo cool. Thanks, man. And then for Hughes, my favorite line was, don't fall on Daddy!
Nice. I was in a baseball show called Big Windup, and my character is the second baseman, and his name's Sakaguchi. He's kind of a creep. There's this one part where he's talking to the pitcher who's talking about how he lived with his cousin for a year or so, and his cousin's a girl. And as soon as he says the word girl, I'm just like, a girl, huh? And I go off into fantasy land. It doesn't matter if she's pretty, has a nice personality, just female, and I'm just like, God. It's like, a girl, wow. They're not just a mystery fantasy thing, they're real. I don't know, that was funny.
Was that your thank you for your question? The answer is cheese.
What would be your advice to beginner voice actors, or like people who want to go into voice acting?
Get your teaching degree and forget about it. No. The best advice I have for anyone who wants to be a voice actor is to get as much acting experience as possible. And if you're in high school or if you're in college or whatever, you can take theater courses, you can get into...
Well, I'm a singer, so I've already felt my vocal cords like
That's good. Actually, singing voice lessons are really good because they stretch your range. But most of the people you're going to be auditioning against now have at least 10 years of experience under their belt. So get as much as you can. That's your competition.
I had like 7 years, I just realized. It's pretty cool.
You're an exception. He's an exceptional kid. Yeah, I could have sworn when I was directing you that you must have had years, like, oh, he's probably started when he was like 4 years old or something, you know, doing commercial work or something.
Well, there it is.
So you had no experience going in?
I read a lot when I first started, and I started at like 9, I think was when I got my first part, and I was like reading Harry Potter books at 9, because my teacher didn't teach us anything. Her name was Miss Fox. She was going a little senile. Hi, Miss Fox. And so I just read that entire year, and I guess I got good at it. That's it.
I will say this also about you, because with child actors, it's always hard to tell if they really are good or they're just cute sounding, you know? Because either will work. But Aaron is actually a really good actor, you know? And as he grew up, you were able to tell that, you know? You can see in his later work, it's like, oh, he really had talent, you know? But with little kids, all they gotta do is be able to speak clearly, you know? But he was actually able, as a kid, to achieve moments, you know? I noticed that when I directed him, I was like, this is like real emotion coming. That's why I just assumed you had a lot of experience.
Thanks, man.
This is a natural. I gotta stop stroking his ego. Anybody else want to?
I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, you should be.
I have a question for Aaron, actually. How did you feel returning in Chibi Party as Al?
Oh, the Chibi Party, that was awesome. Oh my gosh. I liked watching that. I didn't realize how funny it was until I'd actually seen it, and like just the way that like the Elric brothers kept like forming different quests, which is what we always do in the episodes. We're just like, okay, we have to stop. What was it that we were stopping? Like the monster from eating everyone or something? Gluttony?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I liked that. It was cool to come back to that before, you know. I don't know. It's always fun to go back to an old part, you know. I'm sure you felt that way. And you definitely use it.
Yeah, I did the TV news show too. Yes.
I actually have a gift for Aaron.
It's a kiss?
Oh, thank you. Okay, cool.
And now stereo. Does anyone have any questions while he's opening this? Does anybody have any guesses what's in there? Do you have a guess?
Barnes & Noble gift card, which is awesome. Thank you so
Perfect.
much.
We're just talking about how you
Yeah,
read.
and we have a Barnes & Noble right by my school too, and I always end up there for like 2 hours waiting to get picked up. Which I have a car, so it's weird that I do that. My car is broken a lot. It's older than me. Go ahead.
Both of you pirates or ninjas?
I've been asked this question before, so I have an answer. Definitely pirates. And I'll say the reason why is because in most movies and literature, ninjas are just fodder for the hero to kick ass on, right?
Yeah.
And they fall down so easily. But pirates, they will kill you ruthlessly.
I agree. And just the Somalian pirates, frankly, they inspired me, guys.
That would be the life. Let's just quit this and start get a boat.
Totally.
Yeah, we can make some serious cash.
And like, I used to have a bunch of statistics on them. Like, they made like $400 million last year. Somalian-based pirates, which is really amazing when you think about the fact that in Somalia, you know, you work like a week for an American dollar.
Right.
And so,
That could buy Somalia.
yeah, they're making bank, and they're spreading it around in Somalia. So they're actually doing good things for their country, and they're kind of taking money away. They're like Robin Hood.
Wow. I'm very supportive.
Yeah, and they don't kill that many hostages. Only when they act up like really bad, you know?
They deserve it.
Only when they need
As
it.
long as it's just a few, you know. Because you gotta do some token ones or you're not a real pirate.
Exactly. I mean, a couple of them got
Nightcrawler?